Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah. This is Teller Nicholas with the Noble House of St. Nicholas. Today, I want to get into the Hebrew Israelite Clarke family. All the Negroes with the surname Clarke in the Americas, Caribbean islands, Europe, and all my Negroes scattered abroad with the surname Clarke, like Africa and Canada. Before you guys were slaves here in the Americas and the Caribbean islands, you guys was royalty in Europe. You guys was royalty in England, Ireland, and Scotland, which at one time was considered the three kingdoms, which was ruled by our last Negro king, King Charles and the Stuarts. To remind y'all, the Negroes, the Hebrew Israelites, we ruled the Dark Ages of Europe for 1,000 years, from 500 AD to 1500 AD. That was prophecy fulfilled in Revelations 20 and 6. And this is Revelations 20 and 6. Blessed and holy is he that have part in that first resurrection. On such the second death have no power, but they shall be priests of Yahweh and of Yahweh Shah, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. So from 500 AD to 1500 AD, we ruled with Christ. 1100 AD, we created these so-called slave surnames like Clarke as the Norman Barons. In the 1500 AD and on, Revelations 27 through 8 happened. And this is Revelations 27 through 8. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. So when the Caucasian wildman Edomite was loosed out of his prison, he put us into captivity. All right, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. And when he put us into captivity, he took our names, our land, and our heritage. He ain't only steal our heritage, he whitewashed it, all right? He made us believe that our saints was Caucasian and our Christ was Caucasian. He deceived us. But before I continue the lesson, I want to give out a scripture. This is Isaiah 44 and 5. One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. So this is the Clarke's history before slavery. The Clarke family of England and Ireland and Scotland before slavery, the Negroes. The name Clarke is an Anglo-Saxon in origins, and we know Anglo-Saxons mean angelic sons of Isaac, Sakasuna, pagan Hebrews of the British Isles. It was a name given to a person who concerned himself with matters of scholarly importance or of religious orders, or a secretary. The surname Clarke was originally derived from the Latin form Clericus, a learned person, that is, one who could in old times read and write, accomplishments not so rare after all as we are sometimes introduced to think, since this is among the commonest of surnames, as all writing and secretarial work in the Middle Ages was done by the clergy. The term come to mean scholar, secretary, recorder, or penman. This is early origins of the Clarke family. The surname Clarke was first found in Hampshire, where Richardus Clericus was registered in the Domesday Book of 1086. A few years later in Somerset, William D. Clarke was registered circa 1100, and 100 or so years later, Reginald Clarke was listed in the Cura Regis rolls for Rutland in 1205. In Lincolnshire, the first recorded there was John Lee Clarke in 1272. The Hundreds Du Rolls of 1273 proved the widespread use of the name at that time. Bonnie's Clericus, Lincolnshire, Thomas Lee Clarke, Lincolnshire, Bactonkin Clericus, Essex, Gilbert Lee Clarke, Oxfordshire, and Thomas Lee Clarke, Buckinghamshire. In Yorkshire, the Yorkshire poll tax rolls of 1379 include Robertus Clarke, Beatrix Clarke, Hyrcanus Clarke, Robertus Clarke, and John Oakes Aegis and Agnes Clarke. The name is universally distributed over England, but most numerous in Century, absent in Wales, and scarce in most of the countries on the Welsh borders. not frequent in most of the southwest great counties. Best represented in Buckinghamshire, Essex, Leicestershire, Rutlandshire, and Nottinghamshire. As in the counties of Nottinghamshire and Shropshire, it would sometimes appear that the terminal significance transference from the trade to the court that directory Clarke is found over a large part of Scotland, but is rare in the northern part. So the Clarke family, you guys have notables that y'all could cling to. Once the Clarke family from the Americas, Caribbean islands, in Europe do their surname history and point out their notables and say, hey, that's our relative. We all come from them. Then y'all come back to the Amashiach Yahawashah. But first you have to bind yourself as one family, the Clarke family, all right, from the Americas, Caribbean islands, and Europe, and all those scattered, all right, from Canada to Africa, all right, all those Negroes with the surname Clarke. Gather together, all right? You guys have notables in your coat of arms that y'all could cling to. Once y'all do that, y'all come back to the Amashiach Yahawashah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Keep the commandments and get your blessing. All right, Clarke family? This is Teller Nicholas with the Noble House of St. Nicholas. I hope the Clarke family was edified. Shalom.